From ashes to a tiny home. Hey y'all, so today I'm just taking you through my journey of getting my tiny home. So, a little backstory as to how I got to this point. So, I became homeless January 6, 2025 of last year. Yes, my entire home that I had burned down. And so, this wonderful lady who I've never met before. No, this is how you know God is working in your favor, and this is how you know that good people still exist. I don't know her, and she heard my story on Popeyes, and she donated this tiny home to me, which I'm so grateful to her for it. So this is just the process of the house being moved. She was building around the tiny house, building a concrete house around it. So they were having some difficulties getting the house out, guys. And I kid you not, even when they got the house out, apparently somebody who is living in that area didn't want the house to pass through their yard. So that was another hurdle that God had to take us through. So this is just how my house that burnt down is looking. This is the actual look. Everything, I lost everything. Nothing, I lost everything. The only thing that I saved was my TV, a sheet, and a mattress. And that's another story for another video. If you want to hear in depth about how that part go, I'll link the video up top here. But I'll just tell y'all in details another time. But yeah, I'm just recording my journey, putting this up on my YouTube channel so I can remember, because I know that God has brought me far and I know that I'm going further. So this is how everything was looking. Burnt, y'all. It was really a sad moment. And even though the house that burnt down, it was old. It was old and it needed refurbishing and everything. But that was where me and my children laid our heads, and it was sad. It was a sad time. And the house burned down, a lot has happened. And then in October, got the tiny house. Even though I was having some issues to get the house to my yard, um, God made a way and it came. And then after that, in October, because I'm starting over from scratch. October 28th, Hurricane Melissa came and wrecked my tiny home. Hmm. Huh? Aren't I a lucky chick? So yeah, so that happened. Melissa tore the house up. She basically threw the house on the floor because the tiny house, it was on some blocks. That's what gave the house the height. Okay, and then things got tough. Things got hard for me after Hurricane Melissa. Things got super bad until to the point where my yard that the tiny house is in, grass started, weeds started growing, like a lot of weeds, grass. It's been looking awful. This is the worst my yard ever gets. And of course, I still try to rake the yard, rake the garbage, pick up the garbage so it don't look that bad in the grass. You know what I mean? And so months has passed and I haven't been able to cut my yard. And I prayed about it because right now I'm broke. I'm broke, jobless, broke, not working, job hunting, trying to get a work from home job so I can stay with my children while I work from home. Haven't had any luck in that department. And not only that, not being able to cut my yard. So people in the neighborhood, in the community, because I'm literally at the roadside, they pass, they chat, criticize, but the thing is, nobody asks. Nobody would come to you and ask you what's up, what's happening. You get what I'm saying? They will criticize you. Oh, you can't pay. Who fi cut the yard? Obviously, if I could afford to cut my yard, if I could afford to pay money to cut my yard, wouldn't it be cut? I mean, I live at the roadside, and this is the first you see in the yard looking like this with these tall weeds, right? So obviously something is wrong in it. At this point, I'm at the worst stage I've ever been in my life. As you can see, the grass in my yard around my tiny home, it's horrible. It's never gotten this bad before. And the funny thing, people chat, people pass, chat, criticize, but I don't let that bother me because I know what I know. And funny thing is, anytime I'm cutting this yard, I cut the entire yard. Good Samaritan come to help out. So big up God. I'm at the worst stage I've ever been. As you can see, my tiny home that was given to me after the house fire, it's lopsided. One part is on the ground, the other side. Yeah, because after the hurricane, this is what this is what happened, and I'm inside and it feels like I'm living outside because the rain would pour. I can't stand in my house and bathe when it rains. That's how bad it is. But I try not to let certain things get me down because I know that one day, I'll be delivered from this. People, when you're in your job season or your bad season, people, they will chat you, they will criticize instead of trying to give a helping hand. Not everybody, some, because the way how God is good. I remember I was talking to God. God, I want my yard to cut because remember I said I'm jobless and I have two girls to send to school plus to feed. So each time I have to ensure that they have something to eat. If I do get a little change, I have to ensure that they have food and can go to school. So the yard isn't priority at this point, right? I'll remove the bushes and so. But back to the person that lives up the road. As I said, I prayed and I asked God to help me out because at this point I'm tired of the grass in the yard. It don't look good. And guess what this person did? This person came to my window and this person was like, "Can I say something to you? Can I ask you something? I don't want you to feel away." And the person was like, "I have a spray pan." Why? The person was like, "I have a spray pan." And at this point, I had bought a spray, but I just couldn't get any pan to use to spray the yard. And the person is like, "I have a spray pan." I say, "Thank God," because I've been asking from morning to get a spray pan to spray the weed around my tiny house, just to kill the weeds because they're really tall. And guess what? The person not only said he had the spray pan, he was about to buy the spray for me. Ain't God good, people? Ain't God good? He was about to buy the spray without any funny business, without anything attached. So just this goes to show that you have good Samaritans around, you have good people around, not just people who would pass, see you in your bad situation and chat you and bring you down to the worst, but people who would actually give a helping hand without looking for anything in return. And I believe in my heart of hearts that God answered my prayer because that person didn't have to stop and offered to help. And the person come the very same evening with the pan and started spraying down the yard. hmm So this goes to show that God still answers prayers and that you have good people that's in the world, not just the ones who just gossip and treat you bad and bring you down to the worst when they see you in a bad situation, but people who actually knows and sees that hey, this don't normally happen to her, so obviously something is wrong. And he asked me what was happening and I explained the situation to him. And I told him that I'm in a situation where I have to choose between my daughter's eating, them going to school, and spraying the yard. So I tell him that I choose to feed my girls, and because that don't even happen often. Because as I said, if you don't watch my testimony video, we've been hungry. I've been having difficulty sending my children to school, and I'm not ashamed because I'm not the first, I'm not the last. I'm in this situation for a reason, and I know it will not be forever because only salvation lasts forever. And I don't care who I chat because they done the chat me already and have scrutinized me and I bring me down to the verse. So me I put this video out, yeah, for sure somebody say hey, and I don't care who wants to say oh me I chat out my business. Why since people already chat me and scrutinize me so nothing wrong. But this is just to help somebody and to let them know like God still answer prayers. And let me show you guys the yard's prayer. Show the yard is no longer green, it's brown. So let me show you guys how it's looking. The dude helped me spray the yard, no strings. I'm grateful. I'm explaining the situation to him, and he gave a helping hand. And to God be the glory, great things He has done. The next thing I want to do is to renovate my tiny home. I want to renovate my tiny home because I'm not comfortable how it is inside at the moment. And as I said, Melissa wrecked the tiny home, and I purchased like some drywalls with the government money, but they didn't give me solid text sink because I want to. It's tiny but it's spacious. I want to make it really comfortable and modern on the inside. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe so you can follow me on this journey, and make sure to leave a comment down below. Something positive. If I have nothing positive to say, no say no at all. Leave a comment down below. Share the video, y'all. Bye, y'all.